Yo, hello. Just waiting for people to come on. Today's topic is marriage. Topic of the century, eh? Like Marmite, you love it or you hate it. They're telling my followers that starting live video. Just wait for some people to join. Hope everyone's well. Kid Josh, what's happening, brother? Make sure you stick to the end on this one, bruv. It's gonna be a mad topic. Kid Sangat Wagwan. People are joining now. We'll start this in a minute. Cold today, innit? Been freezing these past few days. Right. Yes, H Sing 96k. Right. Let's go, man. So today's topic's marriage, man. Right. Everybody, you're joined in to a Streetwise Kata by Get Ogyani Uncle Mal. The topic is marriage. Yeah, it's putting some people to the grave. Jelona, jokes aside, let's get cracking, yeah? So I made some notes and stuff in it because I want to cover it. It's quite an intense topic, I know. So Sikh rules, yeah? In Sikh, there's no rule that says you should get married or you shouldn't get married. It's up to you. So in Sikh, we have some sons and pagats. They decide not to get married and they just want to focus on the norm and seva. We also have some spies, like soldiers. They don't want to get married because they think that if you get married, it's a bit of a weakness, and they want to do mission upon mission upon mission, like in the Pradhan times. Baba Deep Singh Ji, one of the greatest Gursikhs on that ever lived, he didn't get married. He just served the Panth, wrote Guru Granth Sahibs, done seva, battles, missions, yuddhs, proper wars. And from 18 when he took Amrit, he served till about, I think it was 80 in it when they gave Shahidi. So not everyone has to get married. All Sikhi says is that people think they can go and live in the forest and avoid the world just and get Jion Mukt. It's not like that. You can get Jion Mukt if you're married or not married. Hana? So there is some history, Hana. Kida Gapcast, Wajikast. So there's some history where, when Singhs used to save Hindu women and stuff like that, and the husbands didn't want them back because they were raped by the Mughals and stuff, or the whole community, they had a stigma. So some of the Singhs who were already married, apparently, in all the some of the historic grunts, which are controversial, say that some of the Singhs had 3-4 wives, and to have more kids to make the Khalsa grow and to make sure that these women are just not abandoned and they had a place to stay. Now, whether that's Gurmat or not, I don't know, because what we got to think is sometimes practical things ain't Gurmat. So just say you have to have an operation, they're going to remove your hair. It's not Gurmat, innit, to remove your hair. But sometimes it's practicality. It's not practical. It's not Gurmat to wear balaclava, but sometimes to do a mission, you have to wear a balaclava. Do you know what I'm saying? Gurmat and practicality, sometimes they're in different worlds, but sometimes you have to do the practical thing to survive. You know what I mean? So that's why some things think, okay, Jatka's okay in the jungles because it's practical and they need to survive. So it's something to think about. So history says that some things married 3-4 women. The rescued women as well. Wagwan, bro. Fate. So now we're talking about the pros and cons. Everything in life comes with pros and cons, innit? If you got a revolver, it doesn't jam, but it doesn't hold as much shots as a Glock. The Glock can jam. So pros and cons. I'm just using that as an example, innit? Yeah. If you got a katana, it can reach. You got longer reach, but by the time you pull it out, your enemy can juke you. If you got a small knife, it's quicker to pull out, but you ain't got much reach. Shit, stuff like that, huh? So pros and cons. So marriage is the same thing. It comes with pros and cons, innit? Yeah. So we are hardwired to get married. Yeah, because God wants evolution. He wants, people to procreate. I know we're hardwired to get married, 100%, bruv. But if you want peace, then marriage may not be an option. So if your main aim in life is peace, marriage can break that peace. And if you're a free soul, I disagree, bro. Gurmat itself is practical. Every criticism is subjective. Yeah, now what I'm saying is, with the Gurmat and practical stuff is, it's not Gurmat to wear a balaclava. But if you were to do a mission, you'd have to wear a balaclava. Obviously, you'd get caught straight away. If you're having heart surgery, they might have to remove some of the hair because of infection. So it's not Gurmat to remove the hair, but practicality, you have to. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So where was I? Pros and cons. So if you're a free soul and you don't want to be held down, and you're used to doing what you're doing, your man marji, then marriage, it comes with compromise. It comes with being held down, responsibilities. You can't just get up and do what you want to do. So then you got to reconsider marriage as well, because marriage is hard work. So this talk is going to be in 3 parts: road to marriage, staying married, and divorce. So road to marriage, what I'm seeing today, a lot of people say to me, so now I'm saying Gurmat inherently doesn't ban things, it allows for what's right. And okay, bro, yeah, respect, I kind of misread that then. Yeah, 100%, bro, you got to move with the times. I get what you're saying, yeah. But some people be like, I'm not cutting my hair, I don't care if I die, I'm not letting the surgeon cut my hair, but your hair will grow back. That's my personal opinion, huh? Let the surgeon do the heart surgery. You're alive, you're with your kids, you can do more for the band, the hair will grow back. But some people say that's not good. Some people are cutter. Everyone's got their own views, innit? Huh? It's kind of worms, innit? Everything's personal, you know what I mean? So wicked, yeah. So where was I about? Yeah, so everyone says to me, bro, it's so hard to find somebody, especially the youngsters. It's so hard to find somebody. So hard to find a decent person. And if you can, and I agree, the youngsters are going to have it worse than my age. When I was younger, the times wasn't as bad. And, I found it hard to find somebody. I found somebody when I was 30, But what I will say to people is don't rush. Don't rush. Don't just get married for the sake of it because your parents are putting pressure on you, or you feel like, you're aging and stuff like that. Because this is a commitment for life. Yeah. And you want to have the best prospects. You want to, try to get the 38 and still looking. Bro, everyone's struggling, bro. Trust me, the amount of people I know not married and they want to get married and they're struggling. But I will say to people, look for someone that ticks most boxes. Tick as many boxes as you can, because the more boxes you tick, the easier it will be down the road. So even if they're Amritari, you got to get to know them. You got to ask them questions. You've got to get to know what their red's like, what their murada's like. And as soon as you see a red flag, you've got to pull that red flag up. And people say, I will change, this will do, we'll sort this out. But I'm telling you, people rarely change. You know what I mean? It's very hard for bad habits that have been there for 20 years to change. I know people do change, but very rarely. So when you see a red flag, know that you're going in with a bit of a risk. So I just want to ask the guests, people that are watching, how are they? What reasons have they heard why people are finding it hard to get married? Can anyone type anything? Just want to know what the audience is thinking. Thanks for watching, by the way. Anyone with anything? Because I was meant to have a youngster on with me, but he couldn't make it today. 47, married to kids and still getting this stuff. I don't know what that means, bro. So everyone is spoilt for choice. I think technology has, all a girl has to do is put a little picture with a filter and she'll have 30-40 guys messaging us within 2 minutes. And when they get that much attention, they can just talk to one guy. They think, okay, boom, boom. I'll talk to next guy. So people are just wasting their time, finding the better deal. No one's going to be 100% perfect. None of us are 100% perfect. But like I said, don't rush it. Also, unrealistic expectations from both girl, boys, and families. 100%, brother. 100%. That's the key thing. Realistic expectations. I was just about to go on to that point as well. There are too many options online. People keep thinking the grass is always greener and don't settle, but the grass is greener where you water it. 100%. PK. 100%. All these points I had noted down. Wicked. So we're all on the same boat here. So money is king. Hana? Look at, you'll get a Buddha, he's millionaire, you know, Hugh Hefner, Playboy Mansion, he'll have all the women going there. Money is king. So another thing to look at, is, would you want your kids to have the qualities that the girl or the boy you want to marry has? 100%, brother. Well said. Yeah, it's good. You know, marriage, man, there's always some family arguments. He's not good enough, she's not good enough, this and that. It's not easy these days, man. We're living in a complex society, huh? Back in the days, it was much different. But because the society is complex, we've got to adapt our ways. So for me, this is my opinion. It's better if the man earns more than the woman, because that keeps the woman in her feminine a bit. When a woman earns a bit more than the man, it can still work, but the woman goes into the masculine, like she feels like she's the main provider. I don't know if you agree with that or you don't agree. I think it's a good thing that women are going to uni and they are getting an education and they are getting a career, but I think after uni they should work for 1 or 2 years, then get married, and then keep the career as a backup in case the marriage doesn't work out or there's emergency for financial need. Because back in the days, women were stuck with their husband. If their husband was abusive, they would have to stay there because they had no roof and they couldn't provide for themselves. But why I'm saying that an educated woman should put her career on hold when she has a kid is because if you don't, there's kids going into nurseries at 3 months old, and after school clubs, after breakfast clubs. So by the time the kid gets home at 7, the kid goes to school at 8, goes to sleep at 8, the kid has not been nurtured. In all the Nahang Dals, from 0 to 7, the mum had the kid, nurtured the kid. Then the kid went with the dad and learned hunting and stuff like that. So emotional bonds need to be created with the mother. The mother is the nurturing figure. But if the mother's at work, then you've got babysitters and strangers and all that. It's not good for the kids' emotional development. So it's good that women have got a career. But the thing is, we want too much. We want the big houses, 2 cars. If a man earns 3-4 grand a month and the woman wants to stay at home, I think it's good. Because these gender roles and stuff are important, and because they're breaking, society's breaking, and the energies are going all mash up. And I'm going to get into that on the next part. I earned double than my ex. He said it didn't bother him, but unconsciously I think it felt insecure, and the provider or hunter, it should be the yin yang, is just disturbed. 100%. I would love to be a housewife. Yes, women, you know, then it's their hormones. They're meant to be housewives. They're meant to be with the kid. You know, while they're at work and they're thinking about the kid, and some strangers raising your kid, and the nursery is full of 30 kids and nappies ain't being changed properly, the kid's not hugged, people are putting the kids in the cots in another room and they're crying. This is why emotionally the kids are not developing properly, and science can prove this. But, you know, we used to do things a different way in the East, an Ayurvedic way, but we've started listening to the Gore. Raising childcare costs means people are having less kids on average these days. 100%, brother. Everything's cost of living, innit? So back to the topic. These days, a lot of people are coming with baggage, whether it's emotional baggage or physical baggage. By the time they get married, the culture that we live in the UK, kids are sexually active at 14, maybe even younger. And by the time they get married, they most on average would have about maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe more sexual partners. These develop patterns. The patterns are jumping from person to person. And so before you get married, people are going to think I'm being a bit extreme here. But a lot of people don't tell their baggage or their past, and they're not honest about it. I would recommend a STD test, sexual transmitted disease test. Not because you don't trust that person, but people lie, and plus people are carrying sexual diseases and they don't know about it. Some of these sexual diseases stay dormant. And, you know what I mean? If they've been sexually active, they might not know they've had it. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's important. Also, financially, get your situation, your prenups or whatever. I don't know what works, because some people do marry for the money. The girl could be rich and the man marries her for the money to get a divorce and take half the money, blah, blah, blah. And these financial problems after, you know what I mean? It causes a lot of headaches. So get that all in check before you're married. And, you know, go in front of Guru Granth Sahib maybe and say, look, come clean with everything. Are you lying and stuff? So you start on a clean slate. Hana? Also, before marriage, maybe both of you, before marriage, go and get therapy and clean up any trauma, healing any wounds. Hana? Sort out your living arrangements, because a lot of people don't want to live with their in-laws. So with the in-law situation, I used to think, man, the girl's being a bitch. She don't want to. She don't want. It's hard because the son doesn't want to leave his mum and dad, and the girl don't want to live with the mum and dad. But it's complicated. I used to think, the girl's being a bitch, man. You know what I mean? But if I put myself in the girl's position, I'm going to go and live with a next family. It is hard. And plus, what the girls are saying now is that more likely there's going to be a situation, and before we don't speak to each other, it wrecks with the in-laws forever, permanently. We can just keep our distance and not much can go wrong. Hana? Get the himmat, bruv, long time. So discuss the living arrangements, what you want to do, or give it a try with the in-laws. And if you think it's going south, then get your own place. Getting your own place ain't easy, Hana. 30 grand deposit, mortgage. Back in the days, everyone used to live in one house, less mortgage, more money to spend on holidays. Women can have an urge to build their own nest. You can still do seva of the in-laws and not living together, my view. Yeah, 100, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Society is changing. Women want their own independency and stuff like that. And they don't want nothing much to go wrong with the in-laws. And sometimes the in-laws can be really dreadful as well, and controlling, overwhelming. Sometimes, you know what I mean? Arm's length with everyone. Tika, hello, hello, bye, bye. Keep it formality, innit? Do you know what I mean? That works as well. So we're on to the next part of the talk now. Once you're married, staying married. This seems to be getting difficult day by day with the amount of divorces that are happening, innit? So staying married, in my view, the main thing is communication and compromise. The main thing, if you get the communication and compromises on lock and you're a bit compatible, then your marriage can last. Hana? And gender roles. God has made men and women different. We are physically different. We are hormonally different. We are emotionally different. And we think different. Do you know what I'm saying? Man is more simple, A to B. A woman is more complex. Her mind will go, woo, make something out of nothing sometimes. Where man will be like, oh, your cousin made that remark, yeah. What she mean by this and that? Man, she didn't say it to you. She just made a remark. But women get paranoid as well. Yeah. This is what I've noticed anyway, yeah. Because our roles are different. But now with the stress, the work ratio, the diet, the hormone imbalances, the yin yang, the feminine masculine in relationships is all over the show. And that's like made women more aggressive than they are, and barking. And when the man gets disrespected, he holds resentment. And man doesn't like to be disrespected by anybody, and it can really get out of hand because women ain't in the feminine energy and men ain't in the masculine energy. And I think we need to go back to that sort of gender roles, feminine, masculine, but the women should be educated for a backup plan, Hannah. One thing I noticed, yeah, women have the power to set the frequency and the tone and the vibration of the house. It's very hard for most men to disrespect their woman or hate their woman if she does his seva properly and she's nice, kiddaji, how's your day? Should I make this? If the woman's working, it's different, yeah? They're both going to be stressed from work and this and that. And both need to chip in to the chores and stuff. But I'm not talking about that scenario. I'm just talking about if a woman's at home and she's chilling and she's nice and the food's made and she doesn't really raise her voice, it's very hard for a man to get angry at the woman and have an argument, you know. So a woman can kind of tame a man with a loving, caring nature. And that's what man's desire. That's what man's want. That's why man's get married. Do you know what I mean? And all a woman needs is for them to provide and go out work. PK said, women are nurturers and should turn a house into a home. Raise the Pajungis. I used to think the opposite, but now I'm older. I know better. I struggle to do all roles at once. Men go out and work out there. It's a war out there. They need peace at home. 100%, man. This is the main issues. If the man ain't getting peace at home or there's no peace at home, it's really bad for the kids and it's really bad. And I reckon when people get married, they should suss it out together. If they survive 2 years in the marriage, that's the time to go for kids. Because once you have kids too early, this is the mistake I made, that I rushed my marriage. Within 4 months, I got married. Within 2 weeks, Mrs. was pregnant. We didn't really have peace. We didn't really get to know each other properly. You know, we might have been incompatible. If it broke before the kids, then it's fine. The kids don't get affected. But once you've had kids and you break and it's toxic, it's really bad. And in my situation, it got toxic. It lasted 3 years and it was over with, innit? So don't rush the marriage and don't rush the kids. And every marriage, yeah, you talk to a woman in there. Just say you talk to the woman, you sit down and talk to the woman. Once you finish talking to her, you're going to want to beat the man up. You're going to be like, this motherfucker, I'm going to beat him up, man. He deserves it. Once you talk to the man, in most cases, you're going to be like, oh, she's a kutti, man. She's a bitch, man. I'm going to slap her. You know what I mean? I feel like slapping her. Do you get what I'm saying? So the thing is, in most marriages, when it breaks up, it's not just one person's fault. It's somewhere in the middle, both to blame. In most marriages. Obviously in some marriages, someone's had an affair, someone's done this, someone's done that. It's different, innit? Domestic violence, or, you know, some men are just cunts, innit? And some women are just pure evil as well. But in most marriages that are breaking up today, it's both to blame. Sometimes in-laws to blame, society, the pressure and stuff like that. If we look at the wedding costs as well now, people are spending 80, 90 grand. And I know a photographer for weddings, Hannah. And he goes, by the time they return from the honeymoon, sometimes they're divorced. Not divorced, but broken up. And they don't pay my money because, like, we don't need that film no more. Do you know what I'm saying? No fault divorces are really common. What's no fault divorces, brother? So the reason why a lot of people having divorces is obviously verbal abuse, boom, bonky jana, affairs, violence, laziness, drug addiction. Sometimes a man loses his job and the girl don't want to hang about, or vice versa, because they can't get another job. Sometimes a disability happens. People always think the grass is green on the other side. Kabhi kushi, kabhi gum, maine pyar kiya. Watch a Bollywood film and think, I need that in my life. Listen, it's not always green on the other side. Sometimes it's better to stay with the devil, you know, long as the situation ain't too bad. Every relationship has a honeymoon period. You know when people date and they were dating, yeah? Oh, this is the best man in the world. I'm so happy. 3 years into the marriage, oh man, he does my head in, or she does my head in. The honeymoon period's over in every marriage, mate. In every relationship. It's going to end. Even if you go and meet someone new tomorrow, that honeymoon period will definitely end. Yeah, brother, definitely. Dumb money. No fault divorce allows couples to obtain a divorce without the need to outline the bad behavior of their spouse or proof of. Okay, sorry, bro, I didn't know that. Respect. Dumb money, in my opinion, just an undercarriage and small family party at home for me. Respect. People standardly remortgage the house for wedding. Blah, no, madness. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. So what happens with a divorce, yeah, is if you got kids, man, they suffer, man. Obviously, the kids don't want to live in a toxic environment and sometimes divorce is necessary. because things get that bad, the marriage breaks down that bad. But sometimes kids are used as a weapon, I know a mate, man, his daughter was born and he hardly seen her, man, and he's doing court battles and also spending loads of money, and he will be a great dad, but the kid's being used as a weapon. Then the dad goes on a drinking problem, stuff like that. I know people, yeah, it's like society these days, man. You leave one person, you jump to the next person. You leave one person, jump to the next person. You leave one person, jump to the next person. Even you marry one person, jump to the next person without healing. People on the 4th and 5th and undercarriage. I need the number to a guard tucked, man. I need to say, is this right? Can people have 4 or 5 and undercarriages? I mean, if I was a father and I was giving my kids away on the 4th, 5th time, man, I wouldn't be able to put my head. I wouldn't be able to put my head up high, man. Like I'm giving my daughter away for the 5th time. Do you know what I'm saying? Publicly, or my son. Yeah, you don't need to be alone. Once you get divorced, you need to evaluate the situation where you went wrong, what type of part you need, and the second time you really need to nail it. You need to get it. You need to get it right. There's no way to undo an undercarriage. I don't know, bro. People are having 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and undercarriages these days. So when old women used to get divorced, like my mum's generation, there weren't many divorces, but they just used to focus on the kids. They didn't want to bring another man into the kids' lives. They just thought, let's raise the kids. And they done it single, worked hard, done it single, Because when you bring a step parent in, it can work out, but it might, most times it doesn't work out, man. The number one cause of sexual abuse to a kid, and these are facts, is a step parent. A step parent is the number one danger to physical, emotional, and sexual abuse. And these are proper facts. Yeah, this 100%. I would wait till my kids, if I was a single mother, I would wait till my kids older, until they develop emotionally, they can look after themselves physically. Then I would pursue another option. Till my kid can't handle themselves, 15, 16, and they're on it, I would just be focusing on my kid and my non-Barney. I wouldn't risk bringing a guy in. You just don't know what people are like. Everyone's good at acting, man. Everyone's good at acting. Everyone's got hidden agendas. Put your kids first, man. You had your kids. The marriage didn't work out. Put your kids first. Bring them to a stage where they need to be. And then think about a next person. Because you're going to get distracted. And it can be really complex. It might work out great. Happy days. But you know what I mean? Today's society, everyone's got the bunch jaw. And not many people are going to take your kid as their own kid. And the mark, the gun, you know what I mean? A lot of dirt in a lot of people's mind, man. You gotta be reality, man. You get me? This is Ghetto Gyani, man. Uncle Mao. Streetwise kata, man. You ain't gonna hear it nowhere else. Yeah, so that's it. Unless anyone's got any questions, these are the simple stuff I just wanted to run through, just to plant some seeds in people's mind. Any questions, guys? Anyone want to join on? If not, we'll call it a day, man. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, man. I'll leave the thing uploaded if you want to go back through it. These are just seeds of thought, man. I'm not saying I know all the answers and stuff. This is just my experience, man, and I just want to teach the kids through my experience, innit? Uncle Mouse signing out. Peace.